We've all seen it. A toddler at a restaurant, face glued to a glowing screen. A child scrolling through YouTube, eyes locked in, barely blinking. And a parent, relieved. Finally, a moment of peace. But what started as a harmless distraction has quietly evolved into something far more serious. Today, we're diving into the dark reality of iPad kids, a generation growing up with screens in their hands before they can even speak. It's more than a parenting trend. It's a global phenomenon that's quietly reshaping childhood as we know it. But before we begin, tell us in the comments where you're watching from, and a story you know about the devastation caused to a child by a mobile phone. If this topic matters to you, give the video a like, subscribe, and stay with us as we uncover the long-term consequences of growing up inside a screen. Let's start with how we got here. When Apple released the iPad in 2010, few could predict it would become the pacifier of the 21st century. But in just over a decade, touchscreens have become as common in nurseries as stuffed animals. According to recent global studies, over 90% of toddlers in developed countries now have access to a touchscreen device, and more than 40% of children under age 2 use screens daily. Many start before they turn 1. By age 8, the average child spends over 4 hours a day on screen sand that's outside of school. It's not just about cartoons anymore. It's YouTube, mobile games, educational apps, TikTok, and even social media. So what's the harm? Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics, the World Health Organization, and countless universities has raised serious alarms. Studies consistently link excessive screen time in early childhood with delayed speech development, shortened attention span, poor emotional regulation, sleep disturbances, and behavioral problems like aggression and social withdrawal. One landmark study in JAMA Pediatrics followed over 2,400 children and found that higher screen time at age 2 was associated with worse developmental outcomes by age 5, especially in communication and social skills. Another study from Canada found that toddlers who use screens more than 1 hour per day were 5 times more likely to develop behavioral issues. Why does this happen? The answer lies in brain development. A child's brain is most plastic, the most moldable between birth and age 5. During this time, their neural circuits are being shaped by experience, interaction, and exploration. Screens short-circuit that process. Instead of learning through play, touch, and face-to-face interaction, iPad kids are exposed to fast-paced, overstimulating visual input. Their brains adapt to short bursts of dopamine, instant gratification, and passive observation. They become great at swiping, but worse at paying attention, managing emotions, and solving problems in real life. And unlike traditional television, touchscreens are interactive, which can make them even more addictive. Ask any preschool teacher, and they'll tell you, something is changing. Children are coming into school less able to sit still, less able to focus, and more prone to tantrums. Social skills like sharing, making eye contact, or interpreting emotions are noticeably lagging. One UK nursery director told The Guardian that some children now arrive at age 3 unable to speak in full sentences because they've spent more time with screens than with people. In South Korea, where tech use is among the highest in the world, the government now funds screen addiction clinics for kids as young as 4. But this isn't just a parenting issue. It's a tech industry issue. Many of the apps kids use are designed for addiction. Platforms like YouTube Kids, endless autoplay videos, and mobile games are built to keep users, yes, even toddlers hooked. The more time kids spend watching, the more data companies collect, and the more ads they can sell. Let's be honest, parenting is hard. Screens give parents a break, a moment to cook dinner, a chance to answer emails. It's understandable. But when companies exploit that exhaustion to grow profits, we have a problem. Take, for example, a mother in California who gave her 2-year-old a tablet during dinner to keep the peace. Within 6 months, the child refused to eat without it. No screen, no food. When they tried to remove it, the child had violent meltdowns. Another case in India involved a 7-year-old boy spending up to 10 hours a day on his tablet during lockdown. He stopped playing outside, developed anxiety, and began mimicking inappropriate content from videos he stumbled into through algorithmic autoplay. These aren't isolated stories. pediatricians around the world are reporting the same patterns. Not all screen time is harmful. In fact, educational content, used in moderation and with parental involvement, can be helpful. Some apps promote early literacy, math, or even mindfulness. Video calls with grandparents or interactive storytelling can strengthen bonds and boost language skills. But the key lies in balance, content, and context. Screens should be a tool, not a babysitter, not a reward, and certainly not a substitute for real human interaction. Experts recommend no screen time for kids under 2, except video chatting. 1 hour per day of high-quality content for kids 2-5, co-viewing and discussion with a parent. And most importantly, lots of real-world play. So, what can we do? First, awareness. Most parents don't know how harmful early screen exposure can be. Pediatricians, teachers, and policymakers need to start talking more openly about this. Second, regulation. Tech companies must be held accountable for creating addictive products aimed at children. That means limiting autoplay features, removing manipulative ads, and protecting young users' data and time. Third, support for parents. Instead of shame, we need to provide tools, screen time settings, alternative activities, and public education. And finally, a culture shift. We must stop seeing tablets as digital pacifiers and start treating childhood as sacred again. We can't go back to the pre-digital age, and we don't need to. Technology isn't the enemy, but unregulated, unlimited screen time, especially in early childhood, is proving to be a silent disruptor. iPad kids may grow up comfortable with tech, but uncomfortable with themselves. What they gain in digital fluency, they may lose in empathy, patience, and attention. The question isn't whether kids should use screens. The question is, at what cost and how early is too early? Because what we allow today will define who they become tomorrow. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a parent or teacher who might benefit. And let us know in the comments, at what age do you think it's okay for kids to start using screens regularly? Thanks for watching. Stay mindful, stay present.